He was just the maid's kid, ignored, invisible, standing in the corner while billionaires laughed and clinked glasses, until one of them pointed and joked, "Want to play chess, little man?" They expected a few laughs, but 10 minutes later, the room went silent. The kid didn't just win, he dismantled the man who thought power was about money. That moment didn't just expose a genius, it shattered a room full of egos. And what happened after that? It turned a poor black boy into America's next legend. The Carrington penthouse was a fortress in the clouds. Glass walls, marble floors, and a 24-carat chessboard sat untouched beside a 10-foot fireplace. It wasn't a place for children, especially not the children of maids. But that day, Valerie had no choice. She arrived with her son Micah, a quiet 10-year-old boy with wire-frame glasses and scuffed sneakers. School had closed due to a broken heater. No sitter, no options, just survival. "Micah, stay in the kitchen. Quiet, please," she whispered. Elliot Carrington, the billionaire who owned the building and half of Manhattan, was throwing a wine and cheese mixer for hedge fund titans. He strutted around in a gray suit that cost more than Valerie's car. On a whim, he moved toward the living room's centerpiece, an ornate chessboard. "Who wants to get humiliated?" Elliot laughed, sipping scotch. "I'll take you," said one of his investment buddies. As they began setting the board, Elliot spotted Micah lingering by the hallway. "Hey, little guy," he called. "Ever played chess?" Valerie stiffened. "Sir, he's just a boy." "It's okay, Val," Elliot said, grinning. "Let's give the kid a shot. We'll keep it quick." Laughter rippled through the room. Micah didn't speak. He quietly sat down across from the billionaire. "White or black?" Elliot asked. Micah, eyes focused like laser beams, replied, "White." The guest smirked. Elliot leaned back. "All right, show me what you got, Professor." Micah opened with the King's Gambit. Elliot's eyebrows twitched. "Impressive opening," he muttered. Micah said nothing. 5 moves in, Elliot's center was crumbling. 10 moves in, Micah sacrificed a bishop, only to trap Elliot's queen. Silence fell. Elliot's grin faded. The boy's eyes locked onto the board like he saw something no one else could. Elliot leaned forward, confused. "Where'd you learn this?" "My mom taught me the rules," Micah said quietly. "The rest I just figure out." 20 moves in, Elliot was cornered. 30 moves in, Micah calmly whispered, "Checkmate in 3." Laughter turned into gasps. Elliot couldn't move, couldn't speak. His mouth hung open as the final move hit. "Checkmate," Micah whispered. Later that night, Elliot couldn't sleep. He replayed the game over and over in his head. He wasn't just beaten, he was strategically destroyed. Not by a grandmaster, not by a Wall Street legend, but by a kid from the Bronx. Child chess prodigy signs. How to test genius IQ. Youngest chess masters in America. The next morning, Elliot showed up uninvited at Valerie's tiny apartment in the Bronx. He looked out of place in a tailored suit on the crumbling steps. "Mr. Carrington?" Valerie said, shocked. "Is something wrong?" He held out a folder. "I want to sponsor Micah. Trainers, tournaments, tutors, full ride to any academy. I'll fund it all." Valerie hesitated. "Why now?" "Yesterday he was just the maid's son." Elliot didn't flinch. "Because yesterday I didn't understand what I was seeing. That boy, he doesn't need to learn chess. He sees it, like he's born for it." Inside the apartment, Micah sat solving 3 Rubik's Cubes at once while listening to jazz. Elliot watched in awe. "He's different," Valerie said softly. "He doesn't fit in at school. Kids make fun of him. Teachers don't know what to do with him." "I do," Elliot replied. "Let me open doors no one else will." Within months, Micah was enrolled in elite chess tournaments. He was wiping the floor with 15-year-olds, then 18-year-olds, then grown men. He was undefeated. ESPN called him the ghost on the board. Harvard offered him pre-college courses. A national news anchor called him America's hidden Mozart. But through it all, Micah never changed. He still sat quietly, still spoke only when needed, still hugged his mom before every match. The World Junior Championship in Chicago was televised. Micah was the youngest player ever invited. He wore a hand-me-down blazer 2 sizes too big and carried his mom's lucky penny in his pocket. His opponent? A 17-year-old Russian prodigy named Ivan Kuznetsov. Undefeated, arrogant, sponsored by 3 luxury brands. As the cameras rolled, Micah sat down. Calm, still, ready. The announcers whispered, "The boy from the Bronx versus Europe's golden genius." Move after move, Ivan played aggressively. But Micah never rushed. He breathed. He waited. He calculated. By move 27, the board looked neutral. By move 31, Ivan began to sweat. By move 38, Micah quietly said, "You have 4 moves left, and none of them save you." The room froze, and 4 moves later, it was checkmate. The crowd erupted. But Micah, he just looked at his mom in the front row, tears in her eyes, and smiled for the first time. Later that evening, during a CNN interview, the reporter asked, "Micah, what does it feel like to finally be seen?" Micah looked straight into the camera. "I was never invisible. You just weren't looking."